My guest this week is a new friend of mine who I've known about and been interested in for a while, in particular because he's the author of this book, Did the Old Testament Endorse Slavery? We did a debate as a team against a father and son team, Stuart and Cliff Connectley. Oh, it should be Cliff and Stuart Connectley if I'm going to get the father and son right. I don't think I'm quite old enough to be Josh's father, or we could have built it as like the father-son tag team thing. But how are you, Josh? Thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. That was a lot of fun. That debate was probably the best one I've had. So it's easy to do, I think, when you're there with Matt Dillahunty. So,
well, I appreciate that, but it was easier to do because you were there. Because anytime somebody came up with a question that was specific about Bible knowledge, you were ready to jump right in. Plus, it's just bizarre. I mean, you and I talked on the phone before the debate, and I was like, I don't know how they're going to defend this. How are they going to defend the notion that biblical slavery is moral? And the one thing that popped into my head is, well, they'll just deny that what the Bible's talking about is slavery. And so I wrote down one note and only one note as a potential early rebuttal. And I kid you not, Cliff started off the debate saying, slavery is absolutely wrong, but that's not what the Bible endorses. And I was like, here we go, buckle up.
Surprise, surprise.
So tell us a little bit. We got a splash screen for you and all your goodies, not just for the book, but also Digital Hammurabi as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your partner and Digital Hammurabi and what people can look for.
Sure. So I got my PhD from Johns Hopkins University in Ancient Near Eastern Studies with a minor in Old Testament Hebrew Bible. I have a master's in theology from Capital Bible Seminary, where I studied Old Testament. I grew up a fundamentalist evangelical Christian for probably 25 years. And when I got to Hopkins, I became an atheist. So it's been much more eye-opening, I think, now to study the biblical texts as an atheist than it was as an evangelical. But we run a YouTube channel, my wife and I, who also is getting her PhD from Johns Hopkins in Ancient Near Eastern Studies as well. And she really heads it up. But we teach, classes. I have a whole Sumerian, learn to read Sumerian series, learn to read biblical Hebrew. She does all kinds of things on the ancient Near East. So do I. So it's a nice channel if you're interested in the ancient world. We have a scholarship program that that is completely crowdfunded, where we help PhD students get through their summers when they're not getting paid. So come check us out. Digital Hammurabi, Hammurabi.
Yeah, learning how to spell Hammurabi. If you can do that, that will get you to the right place where you can learn all the rest of the stuff besides how to actually spell it. Hammurabi, not Y. I'm looking at it and still almost said Y. I don't know what. It's funny how the homophonetic kind of mistakes creep in even when you know better. Like, indeed. I can't make fun of somebody for the 222 thing just because my phone has got it wrong on occasion, even when I knew what the right answer was. So,
yep.
Well, we're thrilled to have you here, and I was really grateful that but I mentioned it in the debate review, and I think I told you this before we did it. I hate team debates. Just generally speaking, it's too many voices most of the time. On some occasions, it works out really well, and on this occasion, I was happy to do it. I was happy when it was over with, and would do it again. So, keen stuff here. I have a special challenge to our viewers because we have. As I mentioned, it's Super Bowl Sunday. And first of all, happy 61st birthday to Douglas. He didn't know I was going to do that, but happy birthday. And in the area of prophecy, there are a lot of claims of biblical prophecy, and it might be fun if the calls go this direction for us to talk a little bit about biblical prophecy at some point, because I have very specific notions about what should or shouldn't count as prophecy. For example, I'm going to put on my hat and I'm going to let everybody know that Jesus did not tell me this, but I am going to prophesy that the Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl today. I'm saying that now, almost an hour before kickoff. And when it comes true, I fully expect people to come to me and say, Matt, you offered a prediction that was clearly made before the event had occurred. So we can't say that you made a post prediction or post-diction. It was specific in its content. It was answerable by a single circumstance prone to no interpretation whatsoever. How on earth did you do that? Did you have a God come and tell you that the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl today? I mean, it's not like it's a runaway. It's, it's not like the odds are way, way, way in the Chiefs' favor. But I've made that prediction. And so when I'm right later today, which I will be, I mean, let's just face it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I was born in Kansas City. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Chiefs won last year or the fact that they won for the first time in 1969, the year that I was born. Basically, the Chiefs won in 1969, and then they won last year and this year. And last year's win was because I turned my life around. I didn't turn it over to Jesus, but I turned my life around. And this year, I'm continuing on that good trend. And as long as my life is in good hands, the Chiefs will continue to win. And you guys can all cry, all you Bucs fans. No, all right. I'm going to back up for just a second because I genuinely don't care at all about who wins. I didn't even watch last year. For the people who are looking for the final score, I could do that, but I prefer to wait until afterwards so that I make sure I get it right. I don't know what I don't know why anybody would have a problem with that.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about those types of prophecies, though, is if we're sticking with, sort of, modern theological interpretations of biblical prophecy, if it doesn't come to pass that way, you can say that, well, all prophecy is contingent. And so by you prophesying that the Chiefs are going to win, that this caused the Buccaneers to repent in some way. And so that's why God changed his mind. So, I mean, you can go either way on this.
They will finally let Tom Brady go. But no, for the people who are wanting to score, I'm thinking that it's going to be 30-21, but I could be way wrong. I could be off by a couple points here or there. The looking glass is a little hazy. I just feel that there's 2 digits in both of the scores, and maybe one. Yeah, I'm going to go with 30-21, but it's who knows. Josh, do you care at all about football, or have I just wasted everybody's time?
No, I mean, I do. The problem with me is that when I start watching it, it becomes somewhat of an obsession. So I don't have a lot of balance in my life when it comes to football. So I haven't watched this year because I have other things that I have to be doing. So, well,
let's do the thing that this show is supposed to be about. Yeah, let's stop talking about football, even though technically that wasn't about football. That was me making a prophetic claim.
That's right.
And I fully appreciate everybody else's views, but I'm going to be right. And then people are going to be embarrassed. But we have a load of callers here. And the challenge that I was going to put out specifically to callers, every week we tell people theist callers are preferred and have priority. And right now I'm looking at the call screening list, and we've got 2 theists, 2 atheists, and 1 unknown, which is, I'm going to start with the unknown because I'd like to get that sorted right off the bat. But if there are theists out there who've been sitting there watching the show for ages going, gosh, if only Matt seems to know the Bible, but I think he's kind of full of crap, and I want to challenge him on some Bible questions, today would be the perfect day because Josh is here to point out exactly where I'm wrong. It's the perfect thing.